The market doesn't destroy traders, their emotions do. This is the story of how revenge turns traders into gamblers, and how discipline turns them into masters. Section 1: The Hidden Mirror of Trading. Every trader wants to win. Every trader dreams of consistent profits. But very few are willing to face the mirror that shows the truth. That mirror is your trading journal. A journal doesn't flatter you. It doesn't lie to make you feel good. It exposes your habits, your patterns, and your discipline. Most traders think progress comes from better indicators or new strategies. They jump from one system to another, searching for the one. But the truth is, progress comes from awareness, not from chasing setups. You can't fix what you don't measure. And you can't measure what you never record. Your trading journal is not just a record of trades. It's a record of your decision-making under pressure. Every entry shows your emotions, your mindset, and your maturity. It's not just about what you did in the market. It's about who you were in that moment. Section 2: Why most traders avoid journaling. Let's be real, journaling feels boring. It doesn't give that same rush as opening a position. There's no excitement in typing or writing after a trade. When your heart is racing, your brain wants action, not reflection. It wants to trade, not to think. So you tell yourself, I'll remember this trade later. But you won't. Because emotions distort memory. They make you remember how you felt, not what actually happened. Without journaling, you live in a loop. You believe you're improving, but you're only repeating. You keep adjusting your entries and exits, but your habits never change. That's why journaling is so powerful. It cuts through your excuses and shows you the truth. It replaces emotional stories with clear data. It shows that your biggest problem is not the market, it's your behavior. Section 3: Recording versus reacting. Every trader lives between two modes, recording and reacting. Reacting is emotional. It's fast, impulsive, and fueled by fear or greed. It's the trader who chases, hopes, and regrets. Recording is calm. It's logical. It's the trader who observes, understands, and adjusts. When you write down your trades, entry, exit, reason, and emotion, something shifts inside you. You start seeing your own patterns. You notice how you trade differently after a loss. You realize how greed appears right after a win. And once you see these patterns, you gain control. Because what you can describe, you can correct. Your trading journal becomes your silent mentor. It doesn't shout. It doesn't blame. It simply reflects reality back to you, without bias, without ego. And that truth is what separates amateurs from professionals. Section 4: From Data to Decisions. A professional trader doesn't trade from feelings. He trades from facts. Every recorded trade adds to your personal database. It's your private map of success and failure. No one else has this data, only you. When you have data, you start asking better questions. When am I most profitable? Which setup gives me the highest reward to risk? What's my performance like after 2 losses in a row? Those answers are gold. Because they help you trade smarter, not harder. Without journaling, you trade in the dark. With journaling, you trade with direction. You no longer say, I feel this setup works. You say, my data proves this setup works. That's how you evolve. That's how you build confidence that's based on evidence, not emotion. And that is where a trader transforms from guessing to knowing. Section 5: The Emotional Evolution. Let's be honest, journaling will feel uncomfortable at first. You'll see your mistakes written in front of you. You'll have to admit that you broke rules, moved stop losses, or entered out of anger. But that pain is good pain. It's not weakness, it's growth. Each entry you write makes you more self-aware. Each note you write makes you more disciplined. Eventually, you stop fearing the truth. You start respecting it. You stop blaming the market and start owning your actions. When you say, I lost because I broke my rules. You've already won something bigger than money. You've won control over yourself. That's the emotional progress journaling gives you, quiet, invisible at first, but powerful and permanent. Section 6, the transformation. Now imagine yourself 6 months from today. You open your trading journal. You see your journey in writing, every trade, every thought, every emotion. You can clearly see how much you've changed. You used to rush. Now you wait. You used to fear losses. Now you analyze them. That's transformation. That's progress made visible. Your journal becomes your story, your personal record of evolution. It's proof that consistency doesn't come from luck or magic setups. It comes from reflection and responsibility. The market doesn't reward impulsive traders. It rewards disciplined ones. And discipline is built by one habit, writing your truth every single day. So write after every trade. Write when you win. Write when you lose. Write when you feel fear. Because every word brings you closer to mastery. You're not just making trades anymore. You're making progress. In part 2, we'll go deeper into how to build and organize your trading journal. The key sections to track: strategy, emotion, mistakes, lessons. Examples of real journal structures. How to use your journal to predict your next level of growth. Part 2. Section 7, the structure of a trading journal. A good trading journal is like a microscope for your behavior. It helps you zoom in on what really happens inside your mind when the market moves. You don't need fancy tools to start. All you need is structure and honesty. Every journal should include these 5 key parts. 1. Trade details, the basics: pair, direction, entry, stop loss, take profit, and result. 2. Reason for entry: why did you take the trade? Was it based on a setup, emotion, or impulse? 3. Emotional state: what were you feeling before and during the trade? Calm, anxious, confident, or revengeful? 4. Result reflection: did you follow your plan? Did the result match your expectation? 5. Lesson learned: what can you do better next time? These 5 lines may look simple, but together they build the story of your growth. They capture your thinking pattern, your discipline, and your emotional evolution. If you write them every day, your journal slowly turns into a powerful feedback machine. You'll start seeing connections you never noticed before. Section 8, tracking the invisible, emotions and energy. The market doesn't just test your strategy. It tests your state of mind. That's why every journal entry must include emotional awareness. Most traders only write what they did. Great traders also write how they felt while doing it. Write the truth. Write things like: I felt nervous before entry. I entered early because I didn't want to miss the move. I hesitated because I just had a loss. These details reveal the root of your behavior. Because every mistake starts with an emotion you ignored. If you track your emotions daily, you'll start noticing patterns. You'll see that your worst trades happen when you're tired, distracted, or emotional. And your best trades happen when you're calm, clear, and detached. Once you see that pattern, you unlock control. You'll know when not to trade, and that alone can save your account. A trading journal is not just a chart of trades. It's a chart of your energy. Section 9, building a data-driven mindset. Traders talk about trusting the process. But you can't trust what you can't track. When you have months of journal data, you no longer need hope. You have evidence. For example, you may discover that your setups work best on Tuesday and Wednesday. You might realize that after 2 losses in a row, your third trade is often emotional. You might notice that your most profitable trades come after at least 30 minutes of waiting. That's data power. You can't see it without journaling. And once you have it, you become unstoppable. Your brain shifts from emotion to analysis. You no longer fear losing streaks, because you can study them. You no longer chase entries because you can see your best timing in past results. This is how journaling transforms you, not by giving you control over the market, but by giving you control over yourself. Section 10. The feedback loop of mastery. Every professional improves through feedback. Athletes watch their game recordings. Musicians listen to their own performances. And traders review their trades. This is the feedback loop of mastery. Action, reflection, adjustment, growth. When you act, you learn something new. When you reflect, you understand what went right or wrong. When you adjust, you improve your next performance. If you skip reflection, you break the loop. You stay stuck in the same cycle of mistakes, no matter how much you learn. That's why journaling must become a ritual, not a reaction. You don't write only after big trades, you write after every trade. Because every entry is a piece of the puzzle. The more detailed your reflection, the faster your growth. You'll soon realize that the trader who reflects wins more than the trader who rushes. Section 11. Turning the journal into a profit map. After a few months of consistent journaling, something magical happens. You start noticing your own edges. You begin to see what really makes you profitable. Maybe your best trades come from trend continuation setups. Maybe you perform best after London session opens. Maybe your win rate increases when you avoid trading Mondays. All these insights come from your own journal, not from YouTube, not from Twitter. This is where your journal turns into your profit map. It literally shows you the path toward consistent profitability. Every strong trading plan is born from this personal data. And that's why journaling isn't optional, it's the foundation of mastery. Without it, you're navigating blind. With it, you're walking a guided path toward success. Section 12. The 30-Day Truth Challenge. If you truly want to test your discipline, here's a challenge. Journal every single trade for the next 30 days. No skipping. No excuses. No hiding from your emotions. Write everything, the good, the bad, the honest truth. At the end of the month, go back and read every entry. You'll be shocked by how much you've learned about yourself. You'll see patterns you never noticed. You'll find habits that cost you profits. And you'll discover that journaling doesn't just change your trading, it changes your mindset. Because the more you write, the clearer you think. The clearer you think, the better you trade. This challenge will reveal your real edge and your real weaknesses. And once you know both, you become untouchable. Section 13. The New Identity of a Trader. By now, you're not just someone who trades. You're someone who analyzes yourself. And that makes you powerful. You've stopped reacting and started recording. You've stopped blaming and started improving. That's how consistency is built, not from luck, not from hope, but from habit. A trading journal transforms you from a follower of signals into a leader of your own system. It turns you from impulsive to intentional. From emotional to strategic. Because in trading, the market rewards one thing above all, self-awareness. And journaling is the tool that builds it. So keep writing. Keep reflecting. Keep growing. One day, when you look back at your first journal page, you'll smile. Because you'll see how far you've come. From random trades to calculated moves. From frustration to focus. From chaos to confidence. That's the power of journaling. That's the bridge between making trades and making progress. Part 3. The Deep Work, Awareness, Mastery, and Reinvention. Section 14. Seeing the Invisible. As you journal day after day, you begin to notice something strange. The charts start to feel familiar. You begin recognizing patterns, not just in the market, but in yourself. The more you write, the clearer the invisible becomes. You start seeing what most traders can't, your inner rhythm. How your emotions rise and fall with every candle. How your focus sharpens after discipline or fades after frustration. That awareness is what separates good traders from great ones. Because before you can master the market, you must master your own behavior. Your trading journal becomes a mirror that never lies. It reflects your strengths, your weaknesses, and your truth. The deeper you go, the more honest you become, and honesty is the foundation of mastery. Section 15. The power of emotional tracing. Every trade carries emotion, excitement, fear, hope, doubt. But emotions are like shadows. If you don't trace them, they control you. When you write about your emotions, you start connecting them with results. You'll notice that your biggest losses often came when you were anxious or angry. You'll notice that your best setups appeared when you were calm, patient, and detached. This connection is priceless. Because now you can predict your emotional behavior before you trade. You'll know when to step back, when to take a break, and when to strike with full confidence. A trading journal, when used correctly, is more powerful than any indicator. Because it reveals the real variable behind every trade, you. Section 16. Pattern recognition in yourself. Most traders look for patterns on the chart, double tops, head and shoulders, support and resistance. But few look for patterns in their own decisions. Maybe you always overtrade after a loss. Maybe you enter early when you see volume rising. Maybe you move stops too fast when price goes against you. When you track those moments repeatedly, you'll start to see yourself like a market pattern. That's when discipline becomes automatic, because now you can catch yourself before the mistake happens. Remember, mastering yourself is harder than mastering any chart. But once you do, the market becomes predictable, because your behavior no longer is. Section 17. The turning point. Journaling becomes transformation. At first, journaling feels like homework. Writing. Reviewing. Repeating. But over time, something shifts. You stop writing just to record, you start writing to transform. Your journal becomes your teacher, your mentor, and your truth teller. Every page tells a story of growth, from confusion to clarity, from reaction to reflection. You no longer trade just to win, you trade to understand. You no longer chase the market, you study yourself through it. That's the moment when trading stops being chaos and starts becoming art. Section 18. The language of progress. Every journal entry you write is a conversation between your present self and your future self. You're building a private language, one that only you can understand. When you open your old notes, you'll see how much you've grown. How the person who wrote those early mistakes is no longer the person trading today. Progress is quiet. It doesn't happen in a single winning trade. It happens in the pages you fill when no one's watching. A trading journal is not proof of what you've done. It's a record of who you're becoming. Section 19. Merging logic and emotion. Most traders think trading is about logic alone, but that's half the truth. You can't kill emotion, you must balance it. Your journal bridges that gap. Logic tells you what happened, emotion tells you why it happened. You begin to merge data with feeling, numbers with reflection. The result is trading intelligence, a balanced mind that can think clearly even under pressure. When logic and emotion align, confidence is no longer forced, it flows naturally. That's when you trade like a professional, calm, sharp, aware. Section 20. Journaling as a ritual. A ritual isn't just a habit, it's sacred repetition. When you journal every day, it becomes part of your trading identity. You start your day by reviewing your plan. You end it by reviewing your performance. The process becomes your rhythm, your structure, your edge. Some traders pray before they trade. Some meditate. And some, they write. Because journaling is not about words, it's about presence. It's about reminding yourself, I am not here to gamble. I am here to grow. Part 4. Mastery, consistency, and the trader within. Section 21. Journaling builds consistency. The market doesn't reward random action. It rewards consistency. And consistency doesn't come from luck. It comes from habits built one day at a time, one trade at a time, one journal entry at a time. When you journal every trade, you start noticing patterns in your own success. You learn when to trade and when not to trade. You stop overtrading. You stop reacting to every move on the chart. Consistency becomes a natural outcome of awareness. And awareness comes only through reflection. Your journal is the blueprint of your disciplined self, the version of you who doesn't chase losses, who waits for the perfect setup, and who executes without hesitation. Section 22. Confidence through evidence. Nothing builds confidence faster than proof. Your journal is proof. When you review your past trades, you see evidence of your skills. You see setups that worked. You see emotional control that held firm. You see mistakes that you no longer repeat. Confidence is not blind optimism. It's a calm assurance built from real experience. With every entry, your future self will read, "I've done this before. I can do it again." That's how confidence becomes automatic, not forced. Section 23. Journaling as a performance weapon. Elite traders don't leave growth to chance. They weaponize their journaling. Every note, every reflection, every chart annotation becomes ammunition for the next trade. They track mistakes with ruthless honesty. They celebrate their wins with clarity. They analyze every emotion like a scientist. Your journal can become your personal edge, the difference between repeating failures and accelerating growth. It's the one tool that turns data into strategy, emotion into insight, and effort into results. Section 24. Lessons beyond the chart. Journaling doesn't just improve trading. It improves decision-making in life. Why? Because it trains you to notice patterns, reflect honestly, and act intentionally. You learn patience. You learn discipline. You learn to take responsibility for every action. These are the qualities that make not only a successful trader but a strong, focused individual in any area of life. Your trading journal is not just a record, it's a guide for personal mastery. Section 25. The compound effect of reflection. Just like compounding money in the market, journaling compounds your growth. 1 month of consistent journaling teaches you something. 6 months teaches you a lot. A year teaches you everything you need to know about yourself. Small, consistent reflections grow into massive insight. Mistakes shrink. Wins expand. Discipline becomes instinct. And when your habits compound, your performance skyrockets. Section 26. The final transformation. After months of journaling, something extraordinary happens. You're no longer the same trader who started out chasing setups and hoping for luck. You are intentional. You are disciplined. You are aware. Your journal shows you not only what to do but how to think. It shows you the process of growth, the roadmap to mastery. At this stage, you stop asking, "Am I good enough?" Because the journal proves that you are. You're no longer reacting to the market. You are guiding your trades with precision, backed by evidence and insight. Section 27. The legacy of journaling. One day, look back at every page you've written. Every winning trade, every loss, every emotion recorded. Every lesson learned. You'll see your journey from chaos to clarity. From impulsiveness to discipline. From uncertainty to mastery. That's the legacy of a trading journal. It's not just a book. It's proof that you transformed. That you evolved. That you became more than just a trader. You became a master of yourself. Section 28. Your next step. Start now. Pick up your journal. Write every trade. Capture your emotions. Analyze your results. No shortcuts. No excuses. Because in the end, the market doesn't reward wishful thinking. It rewards preparation, awareness, and self-mastery. And your trading journal is the tool that turns every trade into progress, every mistake into insight, and every day into a step toward greatness. From making trades to making progress, that is the power of journaling. Part 5. The finale, becoming the trader you were meant to be. Section 29. The moment of truth. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. Are you still trading randomly, chasing setups and hoping for luck? Or are you standing in front of your trading journal, reviewing a record of your progress, your discipline, your growth? That journal doesn't lie. It doesn't sugarcoat. It tells the truth, your truth. And the truth is, your future self is waiting for the habits you start today. Section 30, From Action to Legacy. Every trade you make, every note you write, every lesson you record. It is building something bigger than money. It is building mastery. It is building control. It is building you. A trading journal is not just a tool, it is a legacy. A proof that you refuse to remain average. That you refuse to chase luck. That you chose growth. Years from now, when you read your old entries, you will smile. Not because you became rich overnight, but because you became someone who learned, reflected, and evolved. Section 31, Mastery is a journey, not a destination. Understand this, trading mastery is not a finish line. It is a journey. A journey of self-discovery, reflection, and refinement. Your journal is the vehicle that carries you forward. Every page, every word, every reflection fuels that journey. It turns small, consistent actions into exponential growth. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Consistency compounded over months becomes skill. Skill compounded over years becomes mastery. Section 32, The Call to Action. Here's the challenge, right here, right now. Start today. Open your journal. Write every trade. Capture your emotions, your reasoning, and your reflections. Be ruthless in your honesty. Be committed in your consistency. Because every trader who wins didn't win by chance. They won by reflection. By awareness. By holding themselves accountable. Your journal is the bridge between the trader you are and the trader you're meant to become. Section 33, Closing Inspiration. The market doesn't reward excuses. It doesn't reward hope. It rewards preparation, discipline, and self-mastery. Every page you write is a step forward. Every mistake you record is a lesson learned. Every insight you capture is an edge gained. From making trades to making progress. From being reactive to being intentional. From wishing for growth to creating it. That is the power of a trading journal. Start writing. Start reflecting. Start becoming unstoppable. Your journey begins now. Finale, The Awakening. Section 34, The Silent Reward. There comes a moment when you realize the journal isn't about profit anymore. It's about peace. You stop fearing the red days. You stop celebrating the green ones too much. You start valuing something greater, control. Because you've learned that control is freedom. And freedom, true freedom, comes from understanding yourself. That's what your trading journal gives you. Not luck. Not shortcuts. But the quiet strength of awareness. Section 35, The Mirror of Mastery. One day you'll open your old journal and smile. You'll see your handwriting trembling after your first loss. You'll see your frustration, your doubts, your questions. And then you'll see progress. Clarity. Confidence. Consistency. You'll realize the journal didn't just record your trades. It recorded your transformation. From impulsive to intentional. From emotional to composed. From uncertain to unshakable. That's when you'll understand. The market didn't change. You did. Section 36, The Final Word. You can buy every indicator. You can watch every strategy. But if you don't know yourself, you'll always be chasing shadows. Your journal is where you meet yourself. Where you face your fears. Where you refine your discipline. So write. Reflect. Grow. Not just to become a better trader, but to become a better version of yourself. Because in the end, trading isn't about predicting the market. It's about mastering the mind behind the screen. Bullseye, this is the true end. The moment the screen fades, the music slows, and the message sinks deep. From making trades to making progress, the journey begins within. Every trade you take is a chance to grow. Every reflection is a step toward mastery. Subscribe for more trading psychology that sharpens your mind and strengthens your edge.